est votre planquette? La planquette est bonne.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another 3D Hangout. Today we're laggy. It's Thursday here, we're streaming live in South Florida. This is number 89.
Wow, we've been doing this show for almost 2 years now.
Yeah,
And
2 years.
about 3 years worth of projects.
Yep, we started the show after a year of working with Adafruit, and now it's the longest running live 3D show. Woo. Yep, if you guys don't know, I'm Noe Pedro Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit. This guy's my brother, Pedro, works with me here at Adafruit.
What's up, y'all? I'm Pedro Ruiz, creative tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come share 3D printing projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right, this is a show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects and other things. Let's go ahead and start off with this week's coupon code. It is PiGRRL Day.
Yes, we are launching the PiGRRL Zero project you've been working on for about 2 months now.
On and off.
Had a lot of input from the community, so this project was all developed and help with all you guys. So
yeah, hello everybody in the chat room. How you doing? Thank you guys for coming by. Yeah, we're gonna talk about PiGRRL. PiGRRL.
it's PiGRRL week.
Yep. So I was on the show and tell yesterday, and I briefly talked a little bit about this here. The last update we did to the project was we got these new silent rubber buttons, which are over there. Yeah, that's one of them there.
So these are actually a suggestion from one of the commenters to get...
One of them. Quite a few people were like, can we get silent buttons? Can we get silent buttons? And it was kind of one of those things with the PiGRRL too, like people wanted silent buttons. So we did a little bit of shopping around, looking at different...
They were a little hard to find.
Yeah, they were hard to find. They aren't sort of common. So there's only a couple of manufacturers that make it, and we were specifically looking for one in the 6mm footprint, but we couldn't find one, so we had to opt in for the 7.8mm type. And what I did here is I sort of laid it out where all the buttons are on this Perma Proto board, so you can see the different sizes of them. So you have this tiny little one, which is like the smallest button you can get. It's a 6mm by 3mm, I believe. And it's loud. And then we have the 6mm button, which everybody knows and hates because it's loud and it hurts your fingers after an hour of play. And then this is the rubber button, which is really, really silent. I actually have taken one of the buttons I got and I cut it and did a little incision to see what's inside of it. It is just what I expected. It is a little piece of conductive material. And then at the bottom, there's two little metal contacts. So when you press in the rubberness, when you push the actuator in, it makes it closes the circuit. So that's really all that's in there. So it's very, very soft, very quiet. There's no sound in it, and it feels amazing. So all you hear is just kind of the layers of the 3D printed actuator button part kind of scraping against the wall, but it's pretty nice and quiet. There's no clickiness to it. You have a really nice feel to it. It is a lot better in terms of ergonomics and feeling.
And actually the precision of when you play games.
Yeah, I can play games better because you don't have to have so much force when you push the button. So there's only one thing about these buttons that I wanted to share is that they are a little bit bigger than the 6mm buttons, as I was saying. The footprint So you can see here that the regular 6mm button, it uses up 3 pins, like three through holes, but this one uses up 4, so it's not going to fit in the gamepad PCB unless you do something special. So here it is trying to fit it in. You can see it's just slightly bigger. Man, it's hard to do this over the lagginess here, but basically all you have to do is get yourself a flush, something that can straighten out the legs, because the legs always come like curly like this, so that they fit into the through holes. And all you got to do is just flatten them out and then bend them slightly inward. That way you can guide them through the pins. I mean, ideally what we're going to do is, moving forward, if we make a new PCB for future PiGRRL projects, we're just going to draw our own component in EagleCAD and then use the proper footprint. So you do have to do a little bit of hacking to get it to work. This goes in this way here.
But it's totally worth it.
Yeah. And then you just kind of fit them in like that. And then you just kind of force them in there. I recommend pushing it down on a flat surface like this table here, so that you can get it as flush as possible with the surface of the PCB. So they do work, obviously. And that's pretty much the tip that I wanted to give you. Just have to flatten them out, straighten them up. At first I didn't think it was going to work, but it certainly does. So yeah, that's a quick prototype update that I wanted to share with you guys. Definitely are going to start using these buttons on all the projects that need a nice soft buttons. We did place a big order for them, so we're going to carry these in the shop. I'm not sure what the price is, I forget, but they will be in the shop, available to purchase in a week or 2.
Yep. Now the other PiGRRL kits will be updated as well with these buttons.
Yeah.
And they'll probably have more upgrades because the Pi 3 will be going into a lot of the other bigger Pi projects.
Yeah. So if you guys want to check it out now, the guide is live. Let me go to that real quick.
Let's go a little bit through the guide.
Yeah, sure. So the guide is split up on the sidebar here. You can see all the different, they're kind of segmented, so you can do a piece here and then take a break or whatnot. But I figured to break each component out, or to break, yeah, just about each component is broken out into its own page. Some features real quick. There is a ready-to-go image. It uses RetroPie 3.7, which has emulation station. It has just about any emulator that's available for the Pi, so the Super Nintendo, NES, Sega, Nintendo 64, I think PSX. Your mileage will vary, obviously, because the PiGRRL 0 isn't as powerful as the Pi 2 or Pi 3. Total of 14 buttons. You got the D-pad, the shoulder button, select star, A, B, X, Y, and 2 extra buttons. So you have 4 buttons you can map here. You can't see it here, but I have the end ones like exit and I think 1. But the mapping, if you're curious to know exactly what character is mapped to which GPIO number, it's in the I think it's in the software piece, or no, it's in the circuit diagram. Yeah, so there's the table mapping for it. There's all the characters. You can change them to if you want, but I think they're pretty good as they are. It's a little bit of a it's a little confusing with wiring the things, because when you flip it on the back,
It's all backwards.
it's a little bit backwards. But this chart here that we put together should help you folks out. Everything's color coded, so you can just follow everything through the pin and make sure everything's wired.
Oop. I'm gonna call here.
Okay. Pedro's working on his project still while I'm talking. Again, we're saying the PiGRRL image is ready to go. You just download this, burn it to your SD card. You need a minimum of 8 gigs.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend using a class 10 SD card, so it's nice and fast.
Don't ask where to get the ROMs.
I wasn't even going to mention ROMs. ROMs? What ROMs? What are you talking about? I mean, it comes with Doom and Duke Nukem, Quake, some of those shareware
those
shareware
run
programs.
very well on there.
Yeah, they run great.
Like 60 frames a second on these. Huh?
Yep. 3D files are now available. It's on PinShape, it's on Thingiverse, it's on Cults 3D, and I have the source here available, so you guys can download the Fusion archive file, so you can import it into Fusion or what's the cool one? The SolidWorks or Onshape.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have IGS, STEP, SAT. Google SketchUp, every single format you can get it in. So it's the raw source file, so you can modify it as much. I hope a lot of people are going to modify it and make it their own. But all of the recommended slice settings are there. I've made a pretty, I haven't done this before, but I put like, a lot of folks who are new don't have a 3D printer yet, so I made a nice sort of easy to follow section on what do I do if I don't have a 3D printer. Use 3D hubs. Highly recommend 3D hubs. Find a local maker who has a 3D printer and is looking to make some monies by printing out and shipping orders. Like sort of a fulfillment, like a DIY fulfillment.
You never know. That could be right down the street from you.
It could be right down the street from you. There's in Thingiverse, they now have a simple print button, so you can send it directly to your 3D hub without having to download the files. So that's really nice. You get different color options, different material options, and of course you can pick. You can see reviews and ratings and photos of hub people, and support your local maker. So if you don't have a 3D printer, you're good. I think the price here was like $50. I think this is for a different part. Yeah, this is for a bigger part. So, and the price is going to vary. So check that out if you don't have a 3D printer. The gamepad PCB is still being manufactured. We're still waiting to get it back from the fab house. But if you want to go ahead and get it now, spend a little bit extra, support Osh Park. We have the download link right here. Or you can download the Eagle CAD file and mill it out on your mill if you have a mill. So it's up on Osh Park. It's open source, free, easy peasy. You can Eagle it up. What else do we have here? Now the Pi Zero, already getting a bunch of comments about people saying, you know, the bad part is there's no Pi Zeros. Where's the Pi Zeros? I hate you. What the heck? We apologize, but
we don't actually make Pi Zeros.
No, Adafruit does not manufacture the Pi Zero, but we just watched Bilge Tank 36, which happened 30 minutes ago. This is Pyromony. They do a live YouTube stream as well. And word has it that Monday...
They just sailed the 7 seas and stole a nice big old treasure chest full of Pi Zeros.
But they can't talk about it until Monday. So they're probably going to do a live stream on Monday. So hopefully more Pi Zeros on Monday.
Of course,
don't hold me to that. I'm not 100%.
That's just what we heard.
That's what we heard.
A couple of pirates.
A couple of pirates. So who trustworthy pirates?
But definitely sign up for the Notify Me button on all of the products. So
yeah,
if
that's
you
the only thing not in stock.
Yeah, go over to
that in the
page over there, or go to any of the retailers. I think Micro Center is also going to be getting some. Click on that Notify Me. Once we're in stock, you get an email as soon as it comes in. Be as quick as you can. Order. I think we may still have a limit per customer, just because they go so fast.
That's right.
But don't forget to sign up for that. It's the only way to get notified.
Yep, you heard it here. So that's the Pi Zero part. Pi TFTs are in stock. Not much hacking to do other than to cut the trace on number 18. If you've built a PiGRRL before, you know about cutting trace 18. We tend to make that.
That is the most made mistake on all these builds.
I've made the mistake too when I first built it. I was like, oh, I forgot to cut the trace.
Project, yeah.
Okay, the gamepad to the Pi TFT. Little bit of a. This is definitely the part that takes the longest, just to wire everything up. You really want to double check, do one wire at a time, because the last thing you want to do is to wire it to the wrong wire, and then your button's not working.
Yeah, you seal it all up, and then you got to take it all apart again just because one wire is wrong.
Yeah, but it's fairly easy to take apart. But again, you don't want to do that, and definitely recommend using a multimeter to do a continuity test on the pin to the wire, to make sure that your wire is connected and wired properly. So you can just use your multimeter on continuity mode and make sure it's all good. So that's that. Again, it's probably the longest part, but the most difficult part. Again, this is sort of a permanent sort of build, in terms that we normally have it so that you can detach pieces. We have like headers that you can detach. This one, because we wanted it super thin and super small, it's
one of the
compact
caveats.
It is one of the caveats. You do have to solder the Pi TFT directly into the Pi Zero. So you can see here I have it as flush as possible with the surface of the PCB. Those little ports there. Just a little bit of tips here and there on how to solder it up. But once it's in there, you're not going to get it out unless you, of course, saw it like I did earlier in the prototypes. The power boost connected. Again, you just use a switch. Wires up into the PowerBoost 1000C. Highly recommend the PowerBoost 1000C, not the 500. 2 reasons: it doesn't fit. The 500 doesn't fit, and since we're using a 2,000 milliamp battery, you want to have the extra-ness to charge the battery faster, and provide more power, of course, more amperage. So yep, just measure up your wires as good as you can, and sort of lay them out in the 3D printed enclosure.
It's always good to have a little bit more extra slack so you can just cut them down.
Yeah, and heat shrink tubing. This is really cool. This was one of the
another suggestion from
one
the
of the
audience.
suggestions from the community, who were saying, hey, why don't you just break out the audio instead of having this little guy, and this is the USB audio adapter, instead of embedding that into the case, why not just break out the USB so that you can plug in different peripherals, and that was a really excellent idea.
Especially since the PowerBoost comes with a little USB jack.
That's
so
awesome.
You already get one of those.
So you already get one of those. You just have to get the USB on-the-go adapter, which is this little guy here. It converts the micro USB into a USB-A, I guess you can call it.
Yeah, word of warning though, you want to be able to seal that off so it doesn't close connections. The back of the USB port there, the way that they bend that out.
Yeah, I can short it potentially. I think I mentioned that somewhere here. Yep. And then the shoulder buttons, you just free wire them. Again, you gotta be cautious of your wire length. You want to make sure you have enough length of wire to be able to route them properly. And then mounting the components is probably the easiest part of the build. You just plug everything up, do a final test, make sure you can play the game, run all the software, make sure all the buttons work. Before you enclose anything, you always want to check that out. Yep. Everything just snap fits. Most of the things snap fit. There's only a couple of components that you need to screw into the enclosure, being the gamepad PCBs. They have 2 screws each, and then the Pi TFT only needs 2 screws. So that's it. And there it is. Before you close it up, make sure all your wires, or if you have any extra long wires, good idea to trim them down. Use as many heat shrink tubing as you can to keep everything bundled up. I could have kept this a little bit more tidier. So it's up to you how tidy you want to be.
Definitely
wire management.
Move the wires around before you close it so it's not sort of snapping onto any of the lids. So you don't kink it.
I like using a little bit of mounting tack to keep the shoulder buttons in place, because I guess if you don't, I haven't tried it without, so it'll be interesting. And then the actuators for the shoulder buttons, just kind of, because they're printed in rubber material, the Ninja Flex.
You just bend those into place.
You can just squish them into place, and there you go. That's the build. Yep. If you guys have any questions or anything about it, I guess you drop them down. We'll answer them near the end of the show. But
yep. You're actually going to do a live build of this, so
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Tune in to see it being built from scratch.
When we get more pies, or something?
So probably Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah,
probably
when we get
Thursday,
when things are more in, and once we get the PCBs actually available, because I'm kind of out of them. I'm out of the PCBs. I only ordered a few out of Offspark, so that's it. Hope you guys enjoy it. It's been a nice long project, but different one is the difference here is that we designed it. You can go back and see all the live streams that we did and see it come to fruition, and a lot of different things went in, a lot of different testing. Tested it a whole bunch. A shout out to Kirby G and Andrew Stout who beta tested it to make sure the parts printed okay and things. Really appreciate you guys helping me out there. I think that's all I wanted to cover on the PiGRRL. Again, guys, it is on Thingiverse, it is on Colts 3D, and it's on PinShape. So if you guys want to support others, they're up there.
And definitely tag us if you build one yourself. We want to see the progress.
Yep. I like that they have a I've made one. PinShape has like a I made one button somewhere.
Sweet.
I don't know where it is. Somewhere here. I don't know. Upload a print. Yeah, upload a print of your design. I don't know. Yeah, I think this is where you do it. I'm not sure if Colts has one, like I made one button. No, I don't think so. So there you go. Okay. I'm out of stuff.
Let's go ahead and take a look at
shop talk.
Other projects that you're prototyping.
That's it, man. That's all I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I'm going to talk about the radio, but
no.
We'll save that till next time.
That's the next thing. I want to keep the show under an hour.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this week's Shop Talk.
All right, let's go into Shop Talk. The tiny printer, the little printer that could. The one, the only. No. This is the M3D Micro. So, what happened with the M3D Micro? I'm done talking.
Yeah, so this is, I think, our third one. Totally user error. I totally destroyed the last two. First, I plugged in the wrong power supply into one of them, so totally blew that out. So make sure you label all of your connections. Require different voltages. And the next one, I actually broke from trying to print an object that was a little bit too big. It warmed me, and I was just like, yay, whatever. And it misaligned the carriage. So before that, you had actually dropped it.
Yeah, I dropped it.
Quite a big, the size, this is a pretty big table here, so it dropped like,
Actually on this table, but yeah.
Yeah. And when it hit the floor, it might have made a little crack in where the standoffs for the little bearings hold the gantry together. So when I took it apart, after misaligning that, I completed breaking that. But they were very helpful. They quickly sent me another one. This time I got a clear one so you could see on the inside. And you can see here the belts, the way that they all work. And it's a very ingenious little design. It's just two motors that are controlling the X, Y, and Z. So very fancy little design here. The tiny little board that is controlling everything inside there. And this isn't acrylic. It's actually just clear plastic. And a very sturdy design. So the main reason we're talking about these is because the new M3D, or the PrintInZ Skins are now finally in the shop, in stock. We got ones for the Ultimaker, the Flash Forwards, and of course the M3D. So we'll talk about this later, but the new M3D Fire plugin that we're using for Octoprint has a little bit of a bug when doing homing. So went down and squished the build tack a little bit. So luckily we had a couple of these on hand. So installing these, the only thing you gotta look out for is just putting blue tape on the top of your print surface before you attach your skins, because the adhesion that Wayne is using on there's a little bit too powerful. So if you want to be able to remove that easily, he suggests using a piece of blue tape underneath.
You don't have to, but we recommend it.
Yeah, it'll make
it's
life easier when you get
strength, so
yeah, it's a little bit, the adhesive is a little bit too powerful. So after that, you just use a little squeegee to flatten it out, and it fits on there perfectly.
Yeah, so it does come with build tack, one sheet of it, and it lasted us a couple of...
It lasted me one print.
Oh, boy. Okay, yeah, so the zebra prints are going to last you a while. It'll definitely outlast any... Yes, it's called PrintInZ. We need to let you guys know that there is a dispute, not a dispute, but...
no, it's just brand,
Yeah,
brand recognition.
Unfortunately, we can't call it a zebra plate. We're going to have to stop calling it a zebra plate. Wayne let us know, too, that stop calling it a zebra plate. It is a PrintInZ Skin. So that's the brand name we're going to have to go with. So we have 3 new ones in the shop, like Pedro was saying. One for the Flash Forge, one for the Micro 3D, and one for the Ultimaker. If you want to pick these up now, I recommend using this. PiGRRL is the coupon code, 10% off. It's active now, good till 11. Good segue?
That's a really good segue, yeah.
All right, cool.
And I think 2 weeks ago we showed just how easy it is to remove even prints that are like completely embedded into there. Just use a really sharp blade and you can just pry that off.
You can sand it, you can smooth it out, you can use some solvent like alcohol to clean it up. Mm-hmm. I like to use a little bit of grapeseed oil and then a little bit of alcohol to make this nice film where it's, because dude, things get really stuck on there. Things can get really, really stuck on there. Yeah. But a little bit of oil will help you pop things off better. That's only for a couple different materials like PLA, PHA, or composites like copper fill.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to mention, I already forgot. What was it? It's strong
ABS,
stuff.
Yeah. It works
heated
with ABS. Unheated.
Heated. So, oh yeah, that is amazing. So a couple folks in the chat room yesterday, last year, were saying that they could print ABS without the heated bed because it adheres to the plate so well. So that's pretty good. So that's the PrintInZ plate. I hope you guys like it. Real quick, Brendan Fisher is asking, no Umagine, probably about the PiGRRL. I forgot to put it on Umagine. Umagine is the repository site from Ultimaker. I need to get it up there. Thank you for reminding me. I will do that. Let me make a note of it. Does it look like I'm making a note? No, I totally will. I forgot Umagine, sorry. So put it on there.
Many places we can, yeah. Okay, so that's that. Definitely check those out. Very good price for these compared to, and in terms of longevity, and compared to like build tack.
A few months, I think, depending on how much you're using it. Maybe even more. Maybe the whole life of your printer. We don't know.
Definitely check that out. Okay, other stuff we've been testing out. We finally got a couple minutes to check out the CMYK resins from.
I have some time lapses, Pedro. Do you want to leave those?
Oh yeah, here's what it came out.
Woo! So we opted in for the clear model. We could have picked a different color, but we like the clear because you can see the rods and the electronics and stiff. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, so here we're just printing new Choo Choo that was released on Thingiverse.
Oh, why did it only last one print? Is Brendan is saying?
Yeah, so the Z, there's a bug inside of the 0.32 plugin for M3 FIO. It just didn't home correctly. It just went, just dug a little bit into the plate, or was just lowered too low. So I reverted back to 0.3.
Do you want? Is this the link to go there?
I think it's -2.
-2.
Yeah.
-2. So what I'm trying to pull up is Octoprint.
Yeah, we got a printer ready going right now.
Cool. So it's actually printing right now. It's super quiet. Do you think it's quieter?
So yeah, I did notice that it is definitely a lot more quieter. There's no longer those little clicks that we're so accustomed to hearing now.
Little clicks. Oh yeah.
Yeah, when it moves around.
Click. It is the quietest printer we've ever had. I know it takes a long time. That's one of the caveats of the M3D is it takes a long time. It is a little fragile, but it does come with a 1-year warranty. So if anything happens to it, they got your back.
Yep.
That's what it comes with. Good, Swart team is pretty fast and active.
Yeah, so if you're using M3D FIO, hold off until that bug is fixed. 0.31 is what I'm using right now.
What is it? Octo Pi? Oh man, I'm lagging here. Sorry guys. No, it's really laggy.
Yeah, go into settings.
All right, so we're gonna go into settings. Again, if you're an owner of the M3D plugin, we cannot recommend Octoprint enough.
Yeah,
really adds value to the printer, extends the life of the printer.
On the left, scroll all the way down to M3D FIO.
So here's
you can see the options there. You can do your bed calibration all through there. And for whatever reason, the 0.32 plugin or update wasn't saving those settings. So
just off the cuff, Pedro, can we like no longer stream to Facebook? I think that's what's killing my stuff. Like this computer is like crazy laggy. Or of course we can get a new computer. I don't know.
Yeah.
I literally clicked on something and it's not going there. So am I in the right spot? M3D FIO general.
You just scroll down. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just that screen, and
so
there you go. That's all.
Where do I go?
That's it. That's all we're looking at.
Okay. What do you want to recommend people do if they?
Oh, just the backlashes was just different on this one. So the settings that I found that was pretty good. But again, this could be different for yours.
1500? Is that?
No, the backlash for X and Y, so it's just 0.4
and 0.6.
I see here.
Yeah. How did you find this out?
I just Googled it. It was right on their forums. They have a very extensive, photos for every setting. And
where can folks check their version of Octoprint? Is there like a plugins manager that I can click on? I know.
Right there, if you just scroll down.
There it is. So 0.31. That's the stable version.
Yep. So check that out. No, it wasn't an Octoprint bug. It was
M3D FIO.
M3D FIO bug. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Maybe we'll let Donovan know. He's the developer of said plugin.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
That's it. How far is the print going?
It is.
It's pretty close. It's got that much left here.
Yeah. So
what are you printing?
We should have had a camera over there, but we're printing.
We do have a camera.
Drager's.
It's just not.
Her dragon vase looks pretty sweet.
Yes, Luby on Thingiverse, Print Shape and the like is her handle. Luby, I'm sure you guys know Aria the Dragon and many of her other amazing prints, or designs rather.
Yeah, we'll feature that next week.
We're printing out her scale, or her dragon scale base. Again, we don't have a Raspberry Pi camera hooked up to it, but we'll try to set that up if we get time and stuff. Because right now we just have a GoPro on it. But yeah, so there you go. M3D is back in
clear.
Back and not black. Back and clear.
Okay, next up we were taking a look at the CYMK
now
resin colors from the Ember 3D printer.
Here we go.
So we got this about a month or two ago, and we just didn't have time. So I wanted to print out the very fancy Millennium Falcon that Thingiverse user uploaded, and it was super high quality detailed. So I was definitely wanted to print that out in a gray. We don't have a gray, but all the colors allow you to mix it all together. So the first thing I had to do was clean up one of the failed prints that were left on there. I just didn't have time to get to it. And it can be a little bit messy. It looks daunting in cleaning this, but it's not too bad. It's just like one paper towel to clean all that stuff up, and we're using a strainer here to get all of the debris out. With FDM printing, if your support material fails, it just falls on the bed or whatever. But in SLA, it just floats around in the tank and gets stuck to everything. So you just want to use a strainer to preserve any, if you want to reuse any of that liquid.
So here you are mixing.
Yeah, so no scientific way of measuring out the inks. You can definitely make a bigger batch if you needed to use if you wanted to print multiple parts and maintain the same color, but here I was just doing it by eye.
Oh boy.
And got a pretty nice gray color out of this. So here we're just using the white and the black CMYK resin colors from them. And I just mixed those together until I had a pretty good mix of a gray that I liked.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, so I'm just using a solo cup to mix all that in. And you can definitely tell here it's not too dark of a gray.
No, it's like a cool gray. And again, you can add a little blue if you want to make it more cool.
Yeah.
Or a little bit of yellow to make it more yellowy, more beige or something. So cool. And
that worked out pretty good. Fusion 360 had an update over the weekend, and it looks like a lot of the Autodesk suite of apps did as well. Print Studio was on the list there. They did some performance upgrade to Print Studio, so it definitely felt a little bit more snappy. The support structures do look like they're a little bit more thicker.
By default? Okay.
Yeah, by default, because you don't have the ability to change that. If you needed to, you can go inside a mesh mixer and edit those. And it took about 5 hours to print this super detailed Millennium Falcon, but it turned out great. The person who did the editing for the SLA model did an excellent job. He added holes, and you can pull up the time lapse for that.
I guess I don't have it.
Okay, you can just go over the overhead here.
Sure, let's do that.
Yeah, you can just check out the YouTube video for that too, and look at all that detail that's on there.
If you want to bring it up closer, I can probably do. Let's do that. I'm gonna bring it in as close as I can.
You can see all the
there you
gun,
go.
The turret, and all that stuff here.
Go as close as you can. Wow, crazy.
Yeah, I did. Pretty phenomenal job.
Yeah, you can see the seat.
Detail.
You can see the chairs in the cockpit, I believe.
Yeah.
Pedro's, again, we have quite a bit of lag. I apologize for the lag, folks, but I really can't do much.
You can see the seats in there.
Yeah, you can see the little seats in there.
You can kind of make out
there
Han and Chewie in there now.
No, Han and Chewie in there.
There's a gun.
Were there any pieces that broke off because it was so fine?
Yeah, so the actual little frames for the window here did break off.
Yeah.
Because I did have to scale it down about 50% just because of the
very small build volume?
The bed, yeah. It's so tiny.
The Ember 3D printer.
Yeah, again, they're really marketing towards dentists and biohacking and things like that. Not really big. Of course, it's definitely useful for little figurines like we were showing here. But yeah, the colors don't look,
Sorry.
Just mix them well and look pretty good. We're happy with the way this turned out.
Cool. Do you have any other plans on doing stuff?
Yeah, we already have another one that we printed on there. We'll show off next week.
Sorry about the focusing, folks.
Yeah, the lag is crazy.
Yeah, I can't deal with it.
right, cool.
We must deal with it.
So that is mixing colors with the C1K resins from Ember.
Yay,
Pretty
more
cool.
SLA printing happening soon. Did you tell them that you did a Star Trek one? No?
We're going to show them that
Next week. All right, cool. That's it for the makes. That's all I have in the queue here, so unless Pedro has something.
For the makes, that was Shop Talk.
Sorry.
Let's take a look at this week's community makes.
Yeah, give me a second. We're going to go black for a minute. See if we can speed this up. Probably not. Nope. Oh, that's crazy. All right, we're going to go into the community makes this week. Very cool projects that we have that we'd like to share with you folks. First one up. I'm going to pull it up. This one is from Noe, who posted up his remix of PiGRRL. He calls it another PiGRRL 0.2. So this is pretty cool. He designed this in, looks like 123 design. So he completely started it from scratch. He's using a PowerBoost 1000C. He's using the PAM 8302, I believe, the amplifier and the speaker. And he did his own little amplifier using resistors, capacitors, and some diodes.
Very
so
cool.
That's really cool. Awesome. I think he's using is it a 2.2 screen? Yeah, the 2.2 Pi TFT. So if you guys if you're interested in building this one, I think he's got a guide, or at least all the parts and stuff, and a little bit of a wiring diagram here. Yeah, so here's the wiring diagram. Very cool. Love it when people share their stuff. It's a little chunky because it has all the bells and whistles in it, but it's his own design. It's his. You can say it's his, and I love it when people do that. Very, very cool build. Shout out to you, sir. Thanks so much for sharing it and building it. I'm sure you learned a ton. Next one, this is from Aidan, XYZ Aidan on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. Usually he's doing soft robotics stuff, but one of the earlier projects he did, he experimented with pausing a print and then putting stuff in the print. That's how he did his check valves. In this one, he is an avid percussionist. So he 3D printed maraca and he stopped the print and put some rice in it, and he made the maraca. That was pretty cool. He also stopped by last night on the show and tell to show off his latest creation,
cool.
Massive robotic arm using pneumatics, so air pumps and stuff. Check it out if you haven't already. We do a show and tell where we invite folks all over the world to come in and share the projects. This was a huge project. Very awesome to see Aidan's work. And be sure to subscribe to Aidan on the YouTubes for more cool stuff.
Yeah, definitely want to mention that. It actually tried to walk away from during
It tried to walk
demo.
away from the demo. So be sure to check that out. Also, shout out to Aero Electronics. You guys probably don't know about Aero Electronics. They are a pretty big supplier of electronics. And they're kind of like a DigiKey and what's the other one? Mauser.
Mm-hmm.
But Laura Hughes is the marketing manager there. She's doing a lot of great content on their YouTube channel. So they're going to be in Maker Faire Bear area, which is actually this weekend. And she basically put together this pretty cool light installation using Adafruit NeoPixels and 3D printed diffusers and stuff to make this cool interactive
like a
light
Light-Brite,
bright.
yeah.
It is a light bright. So she talks a little bit about the build, and she's just an overall good person to watch. She calls it Lunch with Lara. So I was actually eating lunch while watching her build this. They made a little bit of custom PCBs too to make the build a little bit easier, and they did some 3D printed brackets to hold everything in place. And yeah, I really like their style of content that they're coming out with. So doing a lot of electronics, of course, and 3D printing, sort of what we've been doing for the years. So cool. Shout out to Lara.
Pretty cool.
Thank you for sharing. Next one up is this one. It was actually sent in to us. This gentleman here.
So his glasses broke, and he designed Fusion 360, a new set, and then printed them out on his Form Labs too. So this looks very nice.
Yeah,
Really like the detail on this. Yeah. And he just popped his lenses in. It looks really good.
Formlabs 2, did you print it all in one go?
I believe so, yeah. The Formlabs has a way bigger build plate.
Way bigger, yeah. And a nice price point.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome
Check
stuff.
that
Thank
out.
you for sharing that with us, sir. Great job. Nice practical use of 3D printing. Next one up, this is from Jamison. This is a fun video, but let me talk about the project a little bit. It is basically a filament cutter. It's a spring, a blade, a screw, a set screw, and 2 printed pieces to make this.
Yes, every week I have to scroll down and look for really cool projects to post. And I was quite happy to see that this one had a video attached. Yeah. And to our surprise, it was a very well done video. Yeah. Super funny. Really like videos that incorporate humor into the build, and this one was really good.
This one was really funny. It's genuinely funny. It's like one of those humors where you don't know it's funny until you just like seeing it. It's like, is this guy serious? Like, okay, it's just straight on funny. Yeah. Assembly.
Very awesome. Detailed assembly video.
Jamison is on Instagram as well. We actually had a little chat here.
I follow him and didn't know that.
Yeah, that was him. So great job, cool. Jamison. Thank you so much for sharing and putting this video together. It actually has really great cinematography in this video when he's showing off like the parts and stuff like that. Very awesome. And his humor is spot on, man. It's just a blast seeing people have fun with their videos. And the format is definitely really good. His graphics and stuff are all really top notch.
Very awesome job, sir.
Twix, like what? like make sure, like it's a part of the tutorial. You have to eat Twix while 3D printing. It's just one of the things you have to do. So great stuff. Jamison, was a blast watching your stuff. And guys, be sure to subscribe to Jamison on the YouTubes and beyond. Next up, this gentleman here made mini arcade machines on Thingiverse. Posted a make of PiGRRL 2. So he built PiGRRL 2. He says, just learning how to 3D print, but I already know how to put the guts in. So looks like he's got the electronics down, but 3D printing is new to him. So that's really cool to see on the other side.
It is the hello world of 3D printing electronics.
I think so.
DIY.
Yeah, for the Raspberry Pi.
A must build if you are a maker.
And another person, Scott and Pamela. Scott and Pamela.
Yeah, so they edited our PiCam enclosure.
Yeah, and they took Walter's design, Walter on Thingiverse, who built this really nice print-in-place tripod, put the two together, and it's got this result. I actually need to print this for M3D. Yeah. So very cool. If you guys are looking for a nice tripod, little mini simple thing.
This should definitely fit the new Pi camera case as
well.
well.
I think so. Good stuff. I think he modded it a little bit here. So
added some little flanges in there.
Yeah,
so
good stuff.
Hold onto the walls.
Yep, and a little threaded thing here. So great job, big job, Scott and Pamela. Sorry. Mathida on Thingiverse also made a PiGRRL 2. Shared some photos.
Very nice color combo there.
Nice color combo. Nice wiring. Looks really legit.
Nice.
Looks good. Everything wired up nice and tidy.
Very good cable management on that one.
Oh, Earthbound, huh? That's a good game, Earthbound. There you go. No info, but really nice photos. Thanks for sharing it. Appreciate it. If you guys have built any of our projects, please be sure to post them up. Cool. Wherever it may be. Well, that's all the projects I have queued up here. If you guys want to,
if you want to feature on our show, just tag us. Send it over to support@adafruit.com. Tag us on Instagram, or just tweet at us.
Yep. Community makes. Keep on making.
All right.
All right. Q&A time.
Look at this week's questions. If you have any questions, leave them below in any of the videos, and we will gather them up for a future episode.
All right. First question is from PigeonFX. He's asking if we have any of our boards, CAD files, available to download. We do have plans. We've been trying to figure out a good way to do it. Eventually we want to have each component tied to the Eagle CAD file that's actually already on our Adafruit GitHub account. Trying to find time to do all of that because we have quite a few. We have a backlog now. Yeah. We were doing like sharing them on 123 Design Gallery, but since we moved on to Fusion, there isn't like a similar type thing. You have to kind of share them per component. Yeah. So we just need to find some time, but we are working on it. And if you want to hit me up on Twitter, I'm on Twitter. You can ask me and I'll give you a link, because all I do is just right-click on it, say public share link, and then you can download it in whatever file format. So super easy. Let me know if you want it. Next one is from Person 1. Are you guys going to be at Maker Faire Bay Area?
Not this year. We are going to be at the New York Maker Faire.
But if you're going, be sure to look out for Tony D and Phil B, Philip Burgess, Paint Your Dragon. They're both going to be at the Maker Faire Bay Area. A lot of awesome people will be there too.
Looks like all the cool kids are going now.
All the cool kids. Some good stuff. Eco Gaming is asking, can the Adafruit Pi TFT go on the Pi 3? Yes, all the Pi TFTs have been updated. The tools, the scripts have been updated to work with the new Pi 3 kernel stuff. So it's all good. It all works. Just be sure to follow the guides that are on the product page. Yep. Next question. Sebastian is asking, what if I don't have any buttons? I think he's talking about the SNES buttons on the Super Game Pi. This is a project I want to revisit because it uses an SNES controller as the PCB for the gamepad, because it's like, here's how to hack your Super Nintendo controller and repurpose it. You could just use kind of like what we're doing here, where you just use a Perma Proto board and then put your buttons in its placement as best as you could. So you could do that route. You could try this out. So that's an option for you. But it's only $5 for the SNES controller. So
yeah,
either way,
it's just
it's
the
just
fact that you have
hacking.
to cut it up.
You have to cut it up and expose some traces and solder it up as best as you can. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out. Next one is from Rex Ludus. He's asking, what on the time lapse, this week's time lapse for the SLA, what is the blue solution and why is the resin pool moving?
Yeah, so we actually showed this off, I think probably last month on a previous 3D Hangouts when we were talking about when we first got that CMYK resins in, and when we dumped it into the alcohol, it does take some of the color off, but it doesn't add it back into a print, but that's all it is. It's just blue resin that I used before. The reason why the pool is moving, you can also check out the full review that we did on the Ember printer. It's just one of the ways that it does its separation process. Yeah. So after it does its first layer, or any layer, it does the separation and peel technique. So after it goes to start the next layer, it moves the tray away, and then it comes back to start the next layer. So just check out that video if you want to see how DLP SL8 printing works.
Yep. Blue alcohol.
You know, blue alcohol.
Did it turn gray?
No, it didn't.
It still stayed blue?
I know, right? No,
okay.
Weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
This gentleman is asking, with filament costing about $10 a pound now, is it still worth
extruding your own filament, DIY filament?
Yeah. So this video
unless you want to sell it.
Yeah, so we made this video about 3 years ago, before filament really became a commodity. Back then I think it was like $60 a roll, $40 a roll. Now it is totally not worth it. So we should actually probably take this video down.
Do you want to take it down? Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to check out Matter Hackers, sort of behind the scenes of how they make it, Make Magazine actually shot a really cool video of all the little intricacies that you have to take into consideration when extruding filament.
Yeah, we don't recommend doing this. We didn't do a follow-up video because of that. You kind of have to use like 30% recycled and 70%.
Yeah, it actually degrades after a while.
Yeah. But there is a company called Reflow that is kickstarting, doing a Kickstarter campaign for fully recycled filament. So they're setting up their processes so that they have very, very clean material, I think PETG, like bottles and stuff. Yeah. So we'll talk about that more next week, I think, where we have more details on it, because I don't have any details on it.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, good question. That is all the questions we have this week. If you folks have any questions right now, we'll go ahead and answer them.
And just scrolling through here, just some comments. James Ross is saying we should do a coffee mug project. We do have Peltiers in the shop, so we can sort of keep it heated up, since we always have to run over to the microwave and heat it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That would be cool. He's also saying we should probably make a lightsaber hilt on the Ember. That would totally fit.
That'd be cool. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Other questions. Brandon Fisher is asking, why did it only last one print? Oh, I already answered that. The bug inside of M3D I just had the extruder lowering a little bit too low, it just fused it on to the build tack.
Yeah.
It's still printing right now, though.
First layer woes.
Yep. Let's see. Brendan is also saying he's been trying out Micro Center. It's about $15 Filament if you want to pick up some pretty high quality stuff there.
Yeah, definitely check out local shops. It's a lot of different manufacturers now, and it's great to see a lot of competition and choices for Filament.
Yes, it was user error on my part when
Yeah.
messing up that print on the M3D.
All right, well, I think if you guys have anything else, we're going to close the show out.
Oliver is saying that the small OTG USBs are a little bit too bendable.
Yeah, they're a little fragile. I mean, it's like very thin metal, so you just got to be careful.
Brendan's also saying that he needs something other than Tinkercad to model in.
Check out 123 Design or Onshape. Those are really great choices. A lot of power on them. Yeah. Definitely sketch-driven stuff and parametric editing, modeling is the way to go. Tinkercad is great to, like, I don't know, flesh out something you've never touched CAD before. Is a great way to kind of start thinking in 3D. But then once you start making projects that need to have specific measurements or just a little bit more features like fillets and shelling and just. Yeah, those are very
move on, yeah.
powerful features.
All right, cool.
Can you mute that, please? Thanks.
It's been muted.
Oh, great.
So
that's it for the show. That's it for the show, folks. Thank you so much. Again, if you want to pick up some stuff in the Adafruit shop, that's the best way to support us and support your making habit if you need any electronics. Hopefully this is the place to get them. PiGRRL. That's the coupon code.
Take advantage. Expires at 11:59 p.m. tonight. Doesn't work on software or gift certificates.
If you're feeling really, really good, there's a word I forgot. $200 or more will get you free shipping on your stuff. So that's cool.
And of course, we have same-day delivery if you're in the New York area.
Yep. And a last programming note: you want a daily dose of Adafruit? We have a newsletter for all sorts of different categories: wearables, maker business, biohacking, and more.
Yep.
So there you go. So 3D Thursday happens every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We're live here.
And Layer by Layers live happen sporadically throughout the week.
Yep.
So don't check that out. And don't forget the other shows.
Yep.
Every Wednesday, 7:30 starts Show and Tell. Definitely stop by. We're always there if you want to show off your 3D printed projects, makerspace, or
Retro gear,
what have you. Retro, yeah.
Full hour
right after that, on Wednesdays, 8 p.m., check out Phil Lamar's very awesome Ask an Engineer show. Okay. I got Pseudo-Random with Colin Cunningham. Always looking at interesting, cool topics. I think one of the weeks coming up, he's going to be taking a look at retro mice.
Mice?
Yeah, and actually building your own circuits.
Yeah, the keyboard one was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, check out Tony D's desk. Always does very cool reviews of awesome Raspberry Pi software, and then does deep dives in programming.
Yeah. Great stuff from Tony. He's probably pumping out more live streams than I think any one of us.
Yeah, so definitely check out Tony D's desk.
Tony.
And of course, Lady Ada's desk.
Yep. They had Ham Sunday last week, which was pretty fun.
Yeah,
she had guest
cool.
Amanda Was. This was very fun. A lot of shows, a lot of content from Adafruit. So
don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah.
Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoy the shows. And
that's it for this one, folks.
We'll see you guys
Let me know what you
next
think. Hopefully Monday there's new pies. I don't know. Maybe. Shush.
See you guys next week.
I will see you guys next week. Remember to keep on making. Bye, guys.
Tell me what you don't get.